Hello, my name is Erin Larson and I am new on the faculty of Gentle Somatic Yoga, and today I want to share with you one of my favorite short sequences to do before I go for a bike ride or a hike. And this is going to be a total spinal warm-up. So if we bring attention to our spine, just sense your tailbone, and if you want, you can sit on one of your hands. Just kind of feel the base of your tailbone, and then bring your other hand to the crown of your head. And I invite you to close your eyes and sense the space between your hands. And then go ahead and release your hands. So, of course, our spinal cord is the most important physiological conduit in our whole body. We can take off our arms and our legs and still be able to function, but if we have any disconnect within our spine, it will result in paralysis, immobility, and of course, perhaps death. So whenever I think about warming up my body, I always want to focus on the spinal column and creating ease and fluidity in the spine. So I'm going to bring in 3 somatic movement flows today that I like to do, starting from the pelvis, sacral and lumbar area, moving up into the rib cage, thoracic area, and then ending with the cervical, neck, spinal area. So let's go ahead and come to lie down on our backs. Bring your arms down by your side, extend the legs. And take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose with audible sighs. Inhale and exhale. And then bending the knees, setting the feet flat, being sure not to have your heels too close to the pelvis so that we can keep the pelvis in a neutral position and also reduce any strain on the hamstrings. Interlace your fingers and place them behind your head. And I call this hammocking the head. And I also use it when I hammock my hamstrings for certain panticulations. But we want to really protect the head and the neck here. So unlike what you might feel of as a classical crunch where you just barely hold the head, that causes quite a bit of strain in the neck, and we want to reduce all strain and pain in gentle somatic yoga when we move. So pausing here, and once again, sense that space from your tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently press the small of your back into the earth. And as you inhale, allow a space under the low back. 2 more legs. Exhale, press through your low back, sensing and noticing any feelings that arise. What's it feel like in your physical structure? How does it feel to breathe? And then pause. On your inhale, press the elbows into the earth. Notice how that feels in your shoulder joints. And then exhale and squeeze the elbows together. Again, keeping the fingers interlaced, and the forearms will hug the head. As you inhale, open the elbows, and now tip the chin to the ceiling, bringing the cervical spine into extension. And as you exhale, Hug the elbows together first, then lift the head, chin comes to the chest. So we've got a support of the head, bringing the neck into flexion. And then gently release the head into the hands, pausing here, before slowly lowering the head down, keeping the brace of the forearms against the head. Inhale, open the elbows, tip the chin to the ceiling, and take the gaze above the head. As you exhale, bring the elbows in, chin to chest, take the gaze towards the navel, gently lifting the head, and a reminder not to move into pain. As you inhale, bring the head down. Let's do that one more time. So we're mobilizing the spine. We started with our low back. We came up to our cervical spine. And now we're going to put them all together. As you inhale, press the elbows to the earth. Arch the low back and look up. And take a couple breaths here. Smooth breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbows in, chin to chest, and then begin to peel the spine off the floor, starting with head and neck, and then flattening the low back into the earth, pressing through the feet, and slowly lower, and see if you can sense the thoracic spine lowering vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, just got a little click and pop that almost always happens. So I find the freedom in the spine. Inhale to arch. Exhale, curl up. Elbows in, support the head. Give the head a little squeeze. This is also great for the cranial tissue muscles. Muscles on the temporal side of the skull, gazing up. And then pause here. Take a moment to sense how that feels in the body. Now we're going to bring in some rotation. So this movement, arching and flattening the back, is working on bringing the spine into extension and flexion, moving in this sagittal plane. And now we're going to bring in some movements that explore lateral and rotational movements. So interlacing fingers behind the head, arch the back. As you exhale, same initiation, elbows come in, and then slowly curl over towards your right knee, pointing your elbows towards the outer right knee. And sense and feel the muscles working in the side of your body, obliques. Inhale, come back to the center. The inhale's the same, arching the back. And as you exhale, curl slightly to your left, pointing your elbows to the outer left knee. Squeeze the elbows in, gently release the head into the hands. Inhale, slowly release, arch the back. Now we're going to move at about a 45-degree angle, so about midway down the shin. As you exhale, hug the elbows in, curl to the right. Think about pointing your elbows about mid-calf, mid-shin. Inhale. Pause at the top of the inhale. Feel the muscles engage on the back of the body. Exhale, curl to your left, about 45 degrees. Pause. Inhale. Arch. And now as we twist, we're going to think about twisting almost at a 90-degree angle to the right, pointing our elbows towards the foot. Big inhales, full movement with the breath. To the left. And now on your own, do 2 more to each side, exploring a different vector, a different range of motion. If one specific variation felt really soothing, nourishing to your tissues, you can explore that. And even do these little micro twists once you find that end range of flexion and rotation. So the feet and the pelvis stay fairly stationary. The upper body is lifting and twisting. So we're getting the rotation now through the thoracic spine. Be sure to support the head the whole time. Don't forget the inhale, arching the back, tip the chin to the ceiling. And come back to center. Release the arms, release the legs. Pause. You can bring a little shake and wiggle in. I call this the Etch-a-Sketch. Just letting everything settle. And then bend the knees, set the feet flat. This time, take the feet about as wide as your yoga mat. Arms out in a T position. This next move is called windshield wipers. And it will move our lower body, so lumbar, pelvis, in the opposite direction of the cervical spine in order to provide that rotation again. This one is really lovely for creating freedom and mobility in the neck as well as the low back. So pausing here. This is the position we'll return to, releasing any muscular tension. On the inhale, let your knees fall to the right as you turn your head to look towards the left hand. And if the head does not want to turn fully, it's okay, just gaze as far as you can and maybe close the eyes and visualize your head turning to look towards the left hand. As you exhale, slowly bring the knees and the head back to center. Pause. As you inhale, drop the knees to the left, look towards the right. I like to do a few of these with the eyes open and then also with the eyes closed. You exhale, come back to the center and pause. So the first couple, we are simply getting a feel for what it's like to do this movement in our body, what's arising right now. Not forcing the movement, but simply allowing gravity to take us a little deeper into the movement. And then the following few movements, we'll pause here at the top, exhaling. Now as we inhale, you can think about lifting your toes and pushing through the edges of the feet as if you are doing a deep turn on your skis. And then stretch out through your fingertips and press the back of the shoulders to the floor. As you exhale, come back to center, pause. Inhale, stretch out through the fingers, drop the knees to the left, flex the feet, press through the edges of your feet. And come back to the center and pause. Let go of any muscular tension. Let's do that again, continuing to press through the edges of the feet, and as we turn the head, very gently press whatever part of the side of your skull head is touching the floor, just gently into the earth with about half of your strength. So we engage the muscles through the neck, and then as you exhale, release the muscles of the neck, jaw, legs, feet. Inhale, knees to the left, look to the right. Once you find that end range of motion for your head, just gently press the head into the floor. And as you exhale, come back to center and pause. Bring the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the knees, and gently rock side to side. Take your hands to your knees and then think about stirring the knees around in a circle.
Feel the breath move into the back side of the body with the inhale, and as you exhale, feel your knees gently hug in. Set the feet down and extend the legs. Taking the feet a little wider apart, turn the feet in and out, and then do that rapidly. If you place your fingertips on your hip bones, the anterior superior iliac spine, this point is called, you're going to feel a little mobility. And so what this is doing is bringing that vibration up into the legs, up into the hip bones, up into the sacral area, and then let the legs come to rest. Bring the arms out to the side, pause. Notice how it feels now along that central axis of the spine, from tailbone to crown of head. And then bend the knees and roll to either side, coming to rest in fetal position. Extending the top leg, pressing with the top arm, coming up slowly. Pausing, finding a comfortable sitting position before coming to our final somatic flow, which will be a somatic child's pose cat-cow hybrid. So fingers will be spread wide apart, and I'd like you to take your hands slightly in front of the shoulders, bringing your fingertips parallel to each other and about as wide as your mat. As you exhale here, we're going to bring the shoulder blades together, squeezing the shoulder blades into the spine. And as you inhale, bring the breath into the upper back, puffing up the space between the upper back. And see if you can initiate and isolate the movement to the thoracic spine, the space right between the shoulder blades. You may be used to exhaling as you draw the shoulder blades together, or you may be used to inhaling as you draw the shoulder blades together. And that's because you can pair the breath either way, depending on what your goal is. The goal for us this morning is to create space in the upper back. So I want you to inhale as you press into the hands, spreading the shoulder blades apart, protracting shoulder blades, and exhaling as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then pause in neutral. Take a full breath in and out. And now we are going to switch our breath. So we're going to inhale to arch our back. And then exhale to pull the low belly in and start to shift the weight back towards the heels. Feeling that engagement through the belly as you slowly lower down. And then once you come down, pause. Release all muscular action. Extend the arms and slowly begin to come up with the inhale. Continue to draw the belly in. Pause and draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale. Inhale, puff the shoulder blades up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. And then slowly begin to shift the weight back. Coming to rest and pause. So now I invite you to find some movement that feels really nourishing to your body and pair it with the breath. So it really doesn't matter how you're breathing here, just that you're breathing. And you feel the muscles working to bring your body up out of that child's pose, exploring some spinal movement here. You could even go side to side. So this is integrating the two somatic flows we did on the floor. Get your neck involved. You could think about taking your spine around in a circle like you're scraping the inside of the barrel. And then slowly coming back. Last time into that child's pose and coming down to rest. Bend the elbows a little bit, palms to the floor, supporting the head. If the head doesn't come to the floor, stack the palms or make fists and support the head. It's okay if the hips do not come back to the heels. You could tuck the toes under for a little support. You could even be up here. And then wherever you're at, come up to hands and knees. And come to find comfortable seated position. And notice how you feel now. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together. As you exhale, ground down through the fingertips. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms come together, and as you exhale, bring the hands down to the heart center, bowing the head. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a short sequence that I love to do as a warm-up for exercise. Could also be used as a cool down, and it could also be used as a warm-up just in general for your day. So, namaste, and I hope to see you again.